Grass clippings could be deadly for bikers. How you can help keep them safe. Plus, hundreds of people paddled and portaged through Madison today, the latest from the event's 40th edition.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining the news at 6. I'm Amanda Quintana. Reconstruction of Buckeye Road between Monona Drive and Stoughton Road is set to begin on Monday. Our Gabriella Becerra tells us how the community is responding to the upcoming project. Construction starts on Monday. We are going to go to weather, actually. Let's go out and talk to Dave Caulfield. Not the prettiest day out there, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, we started off with the sunshine, Amanda, but I think that the clouds really found us by the afternoon and now into the early evening hours. We've had a round of showers roll through Madison, but much of the area has actually stayed relatively dry throughout the day. The showers and storms have been just off to the north and west where there's a little bit more moisture. What we have been dealing with, especially closer to the lakeshore, is a quick drop in temperatures. You could see, or you could hear some of that wind in my microphone. We have clouds in Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. A lake breeze kind of combined with a cold front there to drop temperatures very quickly in spots like Milwaukee and Waukesha, where we were in the upper 70s earlier today. And then in the span of an hour or two, boom, right into the lower to middle 50s, down to the low 60s in Madison with some kind of low-hanging stratus, some drizzle right now. I don't think any big rain chances come our way over the next couple of hours, but into the overnight hours, especially into southwestern Wisconsin, we could be talking about some additional showers and thunderstorms. Check out this huge 24-hour temperature drop, especially closer to the lakeshore, of about 20 to 25 degrees. So we'll dip into the 50s overnight with a chance of maybe a few showers. A thunderstorm not out of the question either, but I still think that we will be dry for Father's Day afternoon and evening coming up. We will talk about how long this dry weather will last in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Dave. Reconstruction of Buckeye Road between Monona Drive and Stoughton Road is set to begin on Monday. Our Gabriella Becerra joins us now to tell us about how the community is responding to this upcoming project.
That's right. Construction starts Monday, and there are definitely some strong feelings about it. The section of Buckeye Road that will be under construction is about 1 mile long and lined with houses. I spoke with some residents that are both in support and against the project.
It's quiet now, but for the upcoming months, Buckeye Road is going to be under construction. The project includes fixing the road as well as adding curbs, gutters, storm sewers, and sidewalks.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. First priority is safety. This is, I don't think, a safe plan.
Judy Lang and her husband John live off of Buckeye Road, and they say they don't think the project is a good idea.
All the work trucks that come off of 51 use this highway AB, which is Buckeye Road, and it's a really busy stretch.
They say they're worried about the safety of pedestrians and bikers on a busy road.
Very unsafe here. We've had cars come off numerous times. They've struck our trees and our vehicles, and so we just don't think it's very safe to put a crosswalk right next to our driveway there.
Ron McClintock lives down the street, and he thinks the road needs to be fixed.
Given the fact that the road's torn up is going to get fixed, the temporary pain in the construction is well worth it.
The road is mostly lined with houses, but there are a few businesses affected, including Lake Edge Seafood Company at the corner of Buckeye and Monona.
I hope that we have very loyal customers that will find a way to get to us. But yeah, might be a little bit inconvenience for a few months.
In the city, the road will be closed off to traffic during the project, which is expected to be completed in November.
All right, Gabriella, thank you so much. More local news now. Police say a man allegedly pointed a gun at someone and pulled the trigger in the UW Arboretum this afternoon. UW police say the handgun didn't fire and the man driving a black Acura sped away towards Seminole Highway. There were no injuries and police found no evidence that a gunshot was fired. Police stayed on the scene to interview the victim, saying there is no longer an immediate threat. One person is dead after an officer-involved shooting in southeast Wisconsin. The Racine Police Department says the shooting happened in Mount Pleasant at 1:30 this morning. The police officer involved was not injured, and officials say more information is expected to be released later. We will continue following this story. Officials say a Madison woman battered a nurse and then ran It happened before 2 o'clock this morning at St. Mary's Hospital. According to Chief Koval's blog, authorities found the woman near the hospital and tried to talk to her, but she got combative. She was taken to jail on charges of battery to an emergency medical care provider, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct. A 71-year-old Madison woman drove her car into a power pole and snapped it in half yesterday morning. Police say she crashed on Swanton Road and Milwaukee Street just before 11 o'clock yesterday. The blog post by Chief Koval says the driver attempted to make a wide right turn. After stopping, when the woman tried to correct the turn, she went over the curb and into the power pole. The pole snapped in half and shut down the intersection. No injuries were reported, and the driver was cited for driving without a license and deviating from a lane. A Rock County neighborhood is asking a local bar to turn it down after they say loud music has gone on for hours on the weekends. This is all happening on Janesville's south side. That's where we find Rock County reporter Adam Duxter with what neighbors and the bar are saying. Adam?
Well, Amanda, Hammy's Roadside Bar here on Janesville's south side features live music every other weekend. And today, the band is inside, but neighbors who live back behind the bar say the noise is something that they can just not stand. And that's why this past week, 8 of them went to City Council to voice their frustrations. And owner Suzanne Hamilton says she's trying her best to keep the noise down. And bands only play during the afternoons, wrapping up around 6 or 7 on the weekends. But neighbors say the noise is still something they could do without.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to keep doors shut. I'm trying my best to make everybody's happy. I'm trying my best to keep the sound level down. I'm one person. I just want to work with them. I want to work with everybody. That's all I can really say.
Well, it's an issue because we haven't been able to have kids over for birthday parties or a backyard barbecue on a Saturday and a Sunday. Every other weekend, it was a quiet neighborhood, and that's the way we'd like to keep it.
Now, the Alcohol License Committee is set to review Hammy's permit to play outdoor music coming up next month in July. The neighbors I spoke to who live behind that bar say they plan on continuing to go to Janesville City Council meetings to make their voice and their opinion clear up until that point. But again, the owner says she's trying to do everything she can to keep both sides satisfied. We'll hear again from both sides coming up tonight at 10.
All right, thank you so much, Adam. Governors from across the Midwest are meeting with Canadian leaders in Milwaukee today to protect the Great Lakes. Aside from the long-term threats of major lake flooding and increased storms in the area, there's a more immediate impact to the Badger State from the rising water. That's traffic jams along the Milwaukee River. The river is higher due to near-record water levels in Lake Michigan, one of the issues Great Lake governors are trying to handle.
Good news is that's why we're meeting here today. We cannot look at this as just isolated instances.
The Great Lakes Collaborative will meet all weekend. They plan to release an action plan to combat rising water levels next week. Target stores across the country had long lines today, and not because of any specific sale. Target acknowledged guests were unable to make purchases at its stores as shoppers took to social media to complain that cash registers were not working. Target tweeted, quote, "We are aware of systems issues in store and are working as quickly as possible to get this fixed." That delay came on a busy weekend for shoppers ahead of Father's Day tomorrow. Target has 5 locations in Madison Metro and over 1,800 stores across the country. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, the plea motorcyclists are making in Wisconsin to help save lives, and they're not asking for much. Welcome back. It's something you might not think about, but it could be deadly for motorcyclists. After a motorcyclist's death over the state line in Illinois earlier this week, riders in our area are sharing a plea that could save lives. Our Madeline O'Neill is back from Jefferson with that message.
Well, Amanda, making that change is as small as changing the way you mow your lawn. The Illinois motorcyclist crash was caused by grass clippings left in the road.
I call it wind therapy.
For Stan Rigg, riding his motorcycle low
Because it's lowered.
has a way of clearing his head.
It's like breathing another form of life into you.
But certain obstacles bring back the clutter.
We have to deal with the potholes, road conditions, and tar snakes.
Another offender.
When you hit that grass, it's just like ice. It's slick. You can't control your motorcycle. You can't stop on it. And if you are an inexperienced rider, chances are you'll drop.
A member of Abate of Wisconsin, a motorcycle rights and safety organization. Riggs says grass clippings have become a problem in and around his city of Jefferson.
I wish I had a leaf blower so I could jump off and blow it off.
And beyond, now brought to the forefront after a motorcyclist's death in Illinois.
Debris is extremely, especially when they're on two wheels, extremely dangerous for motorcyclists.
Wisconsin State Patrol Sergeant Michael Vasquez says a few Wisconsin laws can prohibit grass clippings from being left in the road. He advises those mowing their lawn to start from the outside and do loops inward.
Most of the grass clippings will be directed in the center and you can just pick them up.
Been a good old girl.
For motorcyclists, when grass interferes.
Maintain just like you were on a wet road. Keep firm grip, keep a straight line, don't swerve, don't brake, just zoom on through.
To curb that before it happens, Rigg asks that you clear the way.
It's just awareness.
To free one worry from motorcyclists' minds.
If you stop and think that 1 or 5 minutes that it'll take you extra might save somebody's life.
According to State Patrol, Wisconsin has laws governing the placing of any substance in the roadway that could cause injury. We also have littering and secure your load laws for plant debris that might be coming off vehicles and getting on the road that way.
Yeah, it's really something you wouldn't think of, but
Exactly.
obviously important.
Definitely.
All right, thank you so much, Maddie.
You're welcome.
Over 900 paddlers from across the country raced each other in the annual paddle and portage today. The 1-mile paddle race started at James Madison Park, followed by a 1-mile portage through the Dane County Farmers Market, and then a 2.5-mile paddle across Lake Monona before finishing at Old Brick Park. The competition didn't end at the finish line. People could also participate in a post-race party and annual costume contest. This is the 40th paddle and portage, and only 2 competitors have attended every year. Next on the news at 6, groups did yoga this morning for a good cause, lung cancer research. We'll tell you just how much they raised when we come back.
A busy weather day across much of southern Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. We'll talk about shower and storm chances as we head into Father's Day in your First Alert forecast.
Welcome back. More than 100 Madisonians met in Lake Farm Park today for a morning of yoga. Free to Breathe Yoga is sponsored by the Lung Cancer Research Foundation. Teams honored those who have been diagnosed with lung cancer while celebrating health and the power of breathing. Teams fundraised money for research and celebrated with a day of yoga, wellness activities, and a sense of community and belonging. Over $75,000 were raised at today's event, and News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of Free to Breathe Yoga. Let's get a look at your first alert weather. Luckily, it didn't rain on them this morning. It was actually kind of nice in that video.
Yeah, we started off with plenty of sunshine. Temperatures actually reaching the upper 70s and low 80s once again across southern Wisconsin. Then we had some showers roll through, especially closer to Madison. We've been dealing with a bunch kind of all around us, so there's been a bit of chaos to the west and to the east. But for us, for most of the day, we actually have had a nice Saturday. We have a complex of showers and thunderstorms to our west, and that's sparking some severe weather across portions of Minnesota and Iowa. But for southern Wisconsin, just a brief period of some downpours earlier this afternoon on the south side of Madison. So here's the story of today. Started off this morning in the early afternoon, the upper 70s in Madison, low 80s in Mineral Point. And check this out. Milwaukee, 77 degrees for the high today. Watch what happens in the span. This is in a span of an hour, folks. Temperatures went from the 70s to the 50s in just 60 minutes. We had a lake breeze front come through. Basically, the front was oriented in such a way that it was perfect to take the cooler lake temperatures and really just push that cool air onshore very quickly. And right now, those temperatures are much cooler in Madison as well, helped by that rain-cooled air that's still around in the 60s. About 15 to 25 degrees cooler if we are on the other side of that front compared to this time yesterday. Not really affecting us yet across southwestern Wisconsin. In fact, some thunderstorms possible as we get into the next couple of hours, mainly for southwestern Wisconsin. Wind speeds out of the north and east at about 15 miles per hour in Madison. So let's take a look at our time lapse. Started off with the sunshine, then the clouds built in, had a brief period of downpours, and now we sit with these kind of low-level stratus and maybe a little bit of fog in some spots on the WISC-TV Skycam. So for tomorrow, this is what everybody wants to know. Will it be dry for Father's Day? I think there still could be a few showers for the early morning hours, but as we get into the afternoon and evening, it will be mostly cloudy, not much sunshine to come by, but I do think that we will be in for a dry afternoon and evening. So on Future Track, we notice that there is still the chance overnight of a few showers and thunderstorms, especially south and west of Madison. Don't think they'll be particularly strong. Starting off in the 50s for tomorrow, but look at this, not much green popping up during the afternoon and evening, which is good news for those outdoor barbecues with Dad. Then as we head into Monday, we're starting off in the 50s, and we still should have some dry weather. The sunshine returning by Monday afternoon with temperatures in the low 70s. We stay in the 70s as we head into Tuesday with more dry weather, but oh boy, lots of storm chances as we get past that day. So enjoy the dry weather while we have it over the next couple of days, because dry forecast is going to be kind of hard to come by as we get into the middle and end of next week.
It's rough to see them all in one after another.
I really tried, but I'm like, I got to put it in again.
Well, thank you, Dave. We appreciate you telling the truth. Some familiar faces back in Madison today. Melvin Gordon and James White training some future Badgers. That story next in sports. And first on Fox at 9 this Father's Day weekend, a California man is thankful to be alive after a rare triple organ transplant. His story coming up after golf tonight on Fox 47.
Well, wrapping up the high school spring sports season this weekend with WIAA State Girls Soccer Championships in Milwaukee. First up in Division II, Oregon and Whitefish Bay at Eline Soccer Park. Panthers here for the 5th year in a row. No score till the second half. Maggie Starker to belt Patzer. Patzer scores. That's her 4th goal of the season. Whitefish Bay up 1-0 in the 48th minute. But Panthers, they don't take too long to answer. 3 minutes later, little trickery here. Hannah Rohr scoring her 5th goal of the year. And we've got a tie game. It stayed that way for 2 overtimes. So this one, very exciting, went to a shootout. Whitefish Bay missing 2 of the 5 attempts. Thanks to Oregon goalie Malia Moyer. She made 10 saves in the game. And Oregon winning the Division II state title. In Division III, it's the battle of the Crusaders. Edgewood facing Catholic Memorial. Scoreless until the 34th minute in this one. Emma Kober with the header just below the crossbar off the corner kick. Catholic Memorial up 1-0. Kober's 6th goal of the season. That would be the final score. Catholic Memorial wins its 7th title in the last 8 years. Edgewood finishing the season 18-3-2 in its 6th appearance at state. In Division I, we're still waiting for a final in this one, and Division IV still to come tonight. That one starts at 7. Well, some pitching struggles last night for Zach Davies and the bullpen. Brewers lost Game 1 against the Giants 5-3 at Oracle Park. And Jimmy Nelson starting off okay in Game 2 today, but luckily some bats did back him up, at least to start. We pick it up in the 4th. Manny Pena going deep to left center field. Hernan Perez coming home, and it's 4-0 Brewers. We fast forward to the 7th now. Giants tied up and more. Brandon Crawford lining one to right field. That's an RBI double, scoring Kevin Pillar. And Christian Yelich trying to make something happen for the Brewers in the 9th inning. He does, for himself at least. Solo homer, their number 26 of the season, but that wouldn't be enough for a win. Brewers losing both games to the Giants so far, 8-7 the final score. Well, there were a few familiar faces back in Madison this weekend. 2 guys that used to play at Camp Randall on Saturdays who have now made their path to playing on the NFL gridiron on Sundays. Running backs Melvin Gordon and James White getting together to host a camp for Madison area kids at the McLean Center this morning. Now, Gordon, a 2-time Pro Bowler on the Chargers, and White, well, he's got a casual 3 Super Bowl rings, one of which he actually brought for the kids to check out. Seriously, that thing was bigger than my eyeball. It was gigantic. But both guys very grateful for what they learned here in Madison, so it's only natural to pay it forward and teach the next generation of Badgers.
I mean, Madison welcomed us both with open arms. It's such a great community, and there's always a reason to give back. And like I said, we've talked about it for a long time, so hopefully we can make this an annual tradition.
It means a lot, man. It means a lot, you know, just to, you know, be in this position to see someone that you see on TV is just fortunate, man. They're fortunate because I didn't have this opportunity, you know, and I say it all the time, to have people, NFL guys, come back and support, get out here on a, you know, on a college field. I mean, it's amazing.
And, you know, James and Melvin, they couldn't be the more patient human beings I've seen in my entire life. They stayed until every single kid, every single person that wanted an autograph, picture, some life advice, I don't know. They stayed until the very, very end. Yeah, it was pretty cool. They did. It was such a wonderful event this morning.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a little more rain coming tonight?
Yeah, possibly, as we still do have a shower and thunderstorm kind of complex to our north and west. That's going to continue to move to the south and east. The only problem for the storms, that is it's going to run into really cool, stable air. So I'm not sure a lot of us in Madison are going to pick up that much more rain. Across southwestern Wisconsin, some thunderstorms definitely possible this evening, but have the umbrella ready to go as we head into tomorrow morning because a couple of showers are possible. But by tomorrow afternoon and evening, I think most of us stay dry. Temps in the upper 60s for Father's Day, and the dry weather lasting into Monday and Tuesday.
And then you need the umbrella for a while.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Have a good night.